Suzi, hebu kamwone. Yule dem tulikuwa tunaambiwa.
Kwani amefanya?
Hizi shop zote 3 ni zake. Na next door anachukua pia.
Na imagine tuko na haka kitu kamoja tu.
Na ni bodyguard zako na wana.
Nasikia wanamshughulikia everything. ATM zake, credit card zake 24/7.
Hadi usiku.
Kwani 24/7 inamaanisha?
That means anamlipia hata bill zake pia.
KRA, NHIF, UEFA. Nafanywa zote akiwa ametulia tu hivi.
Kitu kingine nasikia ni eti so secure.
Kwani kuna banki yake, si mtu kama hizi utakamtoa anaenda kwa bank.
Nasikia hiyo katu hivi. The whole day kwa tablet akifanywa kila kitu.
Na hao bodyguards wake ndio umpelekea do kwa majuu.
Unaona wale wawili wa soap au fanya bulk payments.
Nilisikia ni ati local accounts zake, foreign accounts zake anashughulikiwa.
Haki no wonder business yake imegrow hivyo Lazima kuna banki yake special.
Your banking team is at your fingertips. Go digital. Visit coopbank.co.ke and click on New Internet Banking.
Well, good afternoon. I'm glad you tuned into Maisha Television. Welcome to Maisha Live at 1. My name is Rida Chebet Kevin. Welcome. We start off with a political story. The Nyeri branch of the Gikuyu Council of Elders has warned leaders who intend to conduct a ceremony at the Mount Kenya Shrine in Narumuru, Nyeri County, to keep off politics from the holy sites. The leaders have pointed an accusing finger at local leaders for remaining silent as politicians invade the holy shrines for political reasons, a matter they say could lead to division amongst members of the Gema community.
Nyeri hatutaki vita. Kama unataka kuja Mount Kenya Shrine, wale wanapaga hivyo, wakuje na jile jia inatakikana na waulize kama wana hiyo ruhusa ya kwenda huko.
This is a warning of Kikuyu leaders from the Nyeri County ahead of planned coronation exercise for the National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi on Mount Kenya Shrine in a ceremony similar to that of Murang'a in respective county. Mr. Njoroge Maingi has claimed those in charge of the process have continued defiling rules of the shrines, saying it may lead to division of the Gema community.
Ile ceremony ilifanywa huko, ilifanywa pahali pasipo ruhusiwa kufanyiwa. Mzee Kenyatta hajaingia huko. Mzee Kibaki hajaingia huko. Uhuru ni president hajaingia huko. Sasa huyo mwingine mkubwa kuliko wao akuja ingie shrine ni nani?
Msipeleke tafadhali siasa. Na mimi nawaonya, hatutaenda huko na askari, lakini hawa wazee mkipeleka siasa huko, maombi yao yatafika kwa Mungu. Na maombi yao hawa wazee sio mchezo, indafika kwa Mungu.
Sisi tuna concern sababu hatutaki vita. Hiyo mambo ilikuwa Murang'a, ikikuja Nyeri, itatoka Nyeri, itaenda na Nyuki, itatoka na Nyuki, mwishowe hii sisi Gema community tutakawanyika kama kitu ingine, tutaanza kupigana.
They have called for the President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the custodian of the shrine, to take charge of the ongoing confusion and follow the right procedure of installing a Kikuyu spokesperson.
Mwenye anataka kuona wazee na kuongea mambo ya uongozi akuja wapi? Hiyo msitu wachane na Mudhamaki Wito Uhuru, na kuomba tafadhali take charge. Wewe ndio ulipatiana hiyo shrine ya Mount Kenya, inakuwaga chini yako. Mimi nakuwaga naifanyia chini yako. Wewe kama president, you are in charge of that shrine. Kwa kimila yetu, our current leader ni Uhuru, inakuwaga under him. Kukikuja mwingine atakuwa under him. Mimi ni just the guardian. Na kama hujanieleza unaenda huko, hiyo hata ni madharau.
Muturi anakuja, anataka kuja Mount Kenya. Pahali pale tena ndani ya Wakikuyu tunaombea. Tunaenda kila mwaka siku moja kuombea nchi yetu. Sasa kusikia naenda huko. Jamani, sasa hii tunashindwa. Ni nani huyu mkubwa kuliko Uhuru Kenyatta anakutuma?
2 weeks ago, National Speaker Justin Muturi Through a ceremony in Mukura wa Nyagatanga, was installed as Kikuyu spokesperson. However, the installation has continued to cause stir among Gema community. Philip Simiyu, Maisha TV.
And the national government, agencies and county governments have just under 3 weeks to clear their pending bills or risk not receiving their disbursement for the next financial year. In his budget speech, the National Treasury CS Sukuri Atani asked the Parliament to support the ministry's proposal to suspend disbursement to the governments that failed to meet these expectations.
Every day, thousands of suppliers and contractors deliver goods and services worth billions of shillings to national and county governments. Some agencies pay in good time, but in some cases, the money just never comes. In fact, going by available data, the amount of money owed to suppliers and contractors by different levels of government by January this year had accumulated to over 346 billion shillings. This may sound as a huge figure whose magnitude and impact are not easily or immediately comprehensible by the common man, but for the suppliers, this is how their plates are not empty, their livelihoods, the source of their rent, their children's school fees, and their savings.
In this regard, I direct government ministries, departments and agencies and the county governments to clear all their pending bills by 30th June 2021. I urge the House to support our efforts towards enforcing compliance in payment of all verified pending bills by the county governments by backing our proposal under Article 225 of the Constitution of Kenya to temporarily stop transfers to county governments that persistently fail to comply with the directive to clear pending bills.
This announcement, at least on the face of it, brings some sense of hope into the already frustrated business persons and their dependents. But it is not that direct. President Uhuru Kenyatta issued a similar order 2 years ago, and it's yet to be fully complied with. Even if the government agencies and county governments were to attempt to comply, the process of making it happen will likely take more than the 19 days left to beat Yetani's deadline. The very same treasury that is issuing this order has been accused of being the reason why the suppliers at the counties all cannot see their hope in sight. The Council of Governors says as at 26th of May 2021, the treasury had not made disbursement of up to 105 billion shillings to the devolved units.
This delay has continued to delay our response measures to the pandemic, payment of pending bills, and service delivery to the Kenyans in all the 47 counties. As a matter of urgency, we now call upon the National Treasury to immediately release these funds to the counties.
The Commission of Revenue Allocations has in the past blamed the pending bills the backhaul of unrealistic revenue expectations by the counties.
They were just putting revenue projections to show that they have a balanced budget. It's like you realize I need to spend 5 billion. From the equitable share I'll get 4. I put a revenue of 1 billion to show that I have a balanced budget. What happens when you see we have pending bills? Because they had a big budget that was not financed.
In the next financial year, the 47 county governments have been allocated a total of 370 billion shillings from the national government in terms of shareable revenue. Reporting for Maisha TV, I'm Amoga Shane.
The late Kenyan rugby legend Benjamin Ayimba, who died of cerebral malaria on May 21, 2021, aged 44, will be laid to rest today in Uranga, Siaya County. He has been described as a revolutionary. That was the dominant word in the Tuesday's tributes during the Requiem Mass held at Our Lady Queen of Peace in Nairobi's South B. From Kenya Rugby Union Chairman Odor Gangla to former Kenyan Sevens player Oscar Osir and Humphrey Kayange, all eulogized Ayimba as a true servant of the game.
When you hear first in an international stadium, those drums, the weight of the country lands on your shoulders. 50 million people sat on your shoulders, and you have to redeem that country.
The highlight of Benjamin's career was being a Kenyan coach who brought the first World Rugby Sevens title to Kenya. Winning the Singapore Sevens in 2016 was something that the population or the people of Kenya celebrated. And this is due to the hard work and the achievements of Benjamin Ayimba.
There can only be one champion, and it is Kenya!
It is quite unfortunate that he has passed away, but he has left a great legacy. He has left something that we can really touch on, tangible, something tangible.
My first real, I can say real encounter na Benjamin ilikuwa hapa the rugby football grounds. I was playing a club game. I think we were playing against Harlequins. I had gone for that conversion. Kibuka kicking that conversion from the corner, I managed to kick na nikaingiza. Somebody kwa stands akasema, "Young Jack, endelea kucheza hivyo, endelea kukick kama hizo, very soon utajoin Kenya Sevens." Kuangalia ndo nikaona ule ni Benja yule coach wa Sevens. That is the moment I got called up kwa Kenya Sevens. Then individual, most of the milestones nimekuwa nazo kwa hii game. Something funny, Benja amekuwa involved kwa zote. My first ever top try scorer in the series back in 2009 was the coach. Alipatia chance winning a tournament as a team. He was the coach pia, alikuwa hapo ndani. Understanding player. Unajua ile tu anajua mother yako, anajua brother yako, anajua mali unatoka, understand tu life yako, where you're from. And that is one of his key strengths. He really understands players.
He sort of changed the way Kenya Sevens was looked at. A very, very sort of energetic character off the pitch. A guy who sort of instilled a lot of confidence in his players. He was one coach who gets his players playing for him. They make them believe that they can do the unaccountable. And it's a lot of sort of lessons I picked from him as a coach. So definitely Benjamin Ayimba, a great man on and off the pitch. Our friendship sort of ages like good wine. And I can't say much better words that can sort of fit this hero.
It's okay to cry, but be strong. It's okay to be weak, but in that weakness, be strong enough so that whatever hits you, you can still come up and fight.
The body of former Kibwezi Member of Parliament Kalembe Ndile arrived at his Mbuinzao home in Makueni County ahead of afternoon burial. President Uhuru Kenyatta, among other leaders, are expected to attend the farewell ceremony. Ndile, who was 57 years old, died on Sunday, May 30th at Nairobi Hospital after a long illness. His nephew Nzioki Kimulu confirmed that he died from complications arising from pancreatic cancer at the Nairobi hospital. The late lawmaker has been eulogized by local leaders including President Uhuru Kenyatta, his deputy William Ruto, and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a charismatic leader who had the interest of his people and the country at large at heart. Learning institutions, the Nairobi Metropolitan Service and Kenya Electricity Transmission Company are among the major losers in the latest changes contained in the mini budget that was tabled on Wednesday in the National Assembly by the National Treasury, CS Ukur Yatani. Let's have a look.
CS Ukur Yatani presented the most ambitious budget in Kenya of 3.6 trillion shillings to the parliament. The CS announced tougher tax compliance measures and reviews of laws to raise cash to partly fund the budget.
And approval. Further, Mr. Speaker, the government through a multi-agency task force has reviewed existing revenue management system with a view to deploying one integrated county revenue management system for use by all the 47 county governments. The task force has completed its work and made appropriate recommendations for consideration by the two levels of government. Mr. Speaker, in order to provide basic services to the previously marginalized areas, as envisioned under the Constitution of Kenya, the concerned county governments have been allocated Kenyan shilling 6.8 billion under the Equalization Fund in the financial year 2021-22.
Kenyans will be asking, what is the need for investing in new projects while we have not honored what we had planned for in previous budgets? So in terms of form and substance, well, we would give it a C.
In the midst of a pandemic, we could not expect the government to add taxes, especially in common commodities, na kuongeza mzigo kwa Wakenya.
The 2021-2022 financial year's budget is expected to cement the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta's 10 years in office in a tough economic setting clouded with depressed corporate and household earnings amid uncertainties arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. Among the highlights include the government setting up aside 14.3 billion shillings for the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines, the Treasury giving ministries and state agencies up to June 30th, 2021 to pay all the verified pending bills to ease the cash crunch on small businesses.
Medicines affordable for Kenyans and step up the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. I propose to introduce VAT exemption on medicament used in our health facilities, including decongestants and food supplements. I propose to provide VAT exemptions to diagnostic and laboratory reagents, artificial respirators, including therapeutic respiration apparatus, breathing appliances, gas masks, as well as medical equipment and technologies used in the provision of medical care services. It is my hope that the suppliers of this medicament and medical equipment will reciprocate by making their prices affordable. Mr. Speaker, in order to promote local manufacturing of pharmaceutical products, I also propose to introduce VAT exemption on inputs used in the manufacture of medical ventilators and breathing appliances. This will enhance access to these products that are essential in management of the COVID-19 complications.
The CS also announced that procurement of ICT services will be decentralized from 1st July 2021 and state departments will procure their own equipment. He added that the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company will issue an infrastructural bond to provide more cash for the cheap loans extended to Kenyans for the purchase of their homes. The government has also allocated an additional 2 billion shillings for the credit guarantee scheme. This will be on top of the 10 billion shillings that was allocated in the year 2020-2021. Furthermore, a national informal pension scheme targeting the Jua Kali sector will be set up and rolled out in July 2022. In the budget, the spending priorities include economic stimulus program, which includes Kazi Mtaani at 23 billion shillings, Big Four agenda including health, food security, affordable housing and manufacturing at 142.1 billion shillings. SMEs to ease cash crunch will be given 1.9 billion shillings. Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone as well as Kenani and Athi River Industrial Parks at 8.3 billion shillings. Nairobi Metropolitan Service at 27.2 billion shillings. Agriculture and food security at 1.97 billion shillings. Recruitment of healthcare interns 1.2 billion shillings. Kenya Wildlife Services to engage scouts allocated 1 billion shillings. Construction of SGR Phase 2, that is Nairobi to Naivasha, 27.2 billion shillings. LAPSET project at 7.5 billion shillings. Free primary education at 12 billion shillings, competency-based curriculum allocated 1 billion shillings, hiring of teachers 2.5 billion shillings, teacher service commission at 281.7 billion shillings, examinations has been allocated 4 billion shillings to cater for the examination waiver for the KCSE and KCPE candidates, and finished iron, steel and products to be imported at 25% excise duty to protect local manufacturers from cheaper imports. Boost in manufacture of diaper with duty-free input for a further 1 year has also been allocated.
Baby diapers are essential products and there is need to supply them at affordable prices. In this regard, last year we allowed manufacturers to access inputs for manufacture of baby diapers duty-free under duty remission scheme. This was meant to support Kenya's capacity to manufacture these products locally and create jobs. I am happy to note that many companies have responded to these incentives by increasing production. In order to nurture the growth of this industry and to continue sustaining the smiles of our babies, we have agreed to extend the duty-free importation of inputs for manufacture of baby diapers for a further 1 year.
Leather and footwear products imports will also be done at 25% excise duty.
To this effect, and in order to enhance incomes of our farmers, the East African Community Partner States have agreed to retain the import duty on imported products for manufacture of leather and footwear products at 25% and introduce a further specific duty rate to guard against undervaluation. Mr. Speaker, our micro, small and medium enterprises that operate in the Jokali sector have continued to thrive, creating jobs and incomes to millions of families.
Maisha TV.
And efforts by impeached Wajir Governor Mohamed Abdi Mohamud to address a press conference at the Council of Governors office in Nairobi were thwarted by the police, who blocked him from addressing the press. Mohamud, who later addressed the press at a local hotel, dismissed the Nyamira Senator Okongo Mageni chaired committee that found him guilty of gross violation of the Constitution by flouting the County Government Act, Public Procurement Act, and Asset Disposal Act and the Public Finance Management Act.
The Wajir Governor Abdi Mohamed Mohamud had tried to access the premises as the police officers inferred, forcing him to leave the premises. This is not the first time the former county bosses tried to access the offices. The governor was impeached by the Senate of accused of office abuse. He, however, moved to court to stop the swearing in of his deputy, who, however, was sworn in before the court orders had reached the assembly.
This court that has reaffirmed the previous orders is the one I've just said, the 3-judge bench which sat in Meru High Court yesterday. And it said that I shall continue to be in office to execute the powers and functions of the governor of Wajir County as prescribed by the law until the petition is heard and determined.
The 3-judge bench had already been constituted to hear the case by governor challenging his impeachment.
Anything done pursuant to the resolution of the Senate of 17th May 2021, including the purported swearing in of the deputy governor as the governor of Wajir, and any function performed thereof is null and void.
The governor received a reprieve from Meru High Court to stop his former deputy governor Ahmed Mukhtar from taking over the reign of his county until the case before the court is heard and determined.
I'm afraid the continued disobeying of court orders in this matter will culminate to anarchy and lawlessness. If this court order, now this is the fourth or third time, is not obeyed, then definitely we will again go to court and have those people arrested.
Abdi's agents had accused other political factions of plotting against the governor and fostering hostility in the region.
We have served the IG's office and we will again serve the IG's office today.
The police officers armed to the tip stopped the Wajir governor from addressing the press.
We have information that he's only using the administration police wing of the police force. This is not right. He's from Wajir. He has a direct interest in this political contest.
The politicians who have done this, who are behind this program, have gone to a menopause. I believe there is the time for them to exit.
A section of his supporters voted to the Council of Governors headquarters, ended by the decision of men and women, maintained that police officers are being used to settle political scores. Philip Simiyu, Maisha TV.
The National Council of Churches of Kenya Central Region Branch wants the much touted calls for referendum to change the constitution be shelved until after the 2022 general elections is held. The clergy, which has opposed the extension of the election date, maintains that it is not feasible to hold both the referendum and the general elections within a period of 1 year.
For this reason, this regional conference calls upon the promoters of the BBI to postpone the process until after the 2022 general elections. It is not feasible our nation to hold a referendum and a general election within 1 year. Priority should be given to the 2022 general elections. Nonetheless, we urge Kenyans to consider instituting a parliamentary process to effect essential reforms to promote cohesion and peaceful coexistence in our nation.
An animosity and tension is simmering among communities living in Tana River County after a man was allegedly killed by pastoralists in Galma village, Sera location in Tana Delta sub-county about 4 days ago. In a bid to ease the tension, the Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata has urged residents not to retaliate so as not to repeat the cycle of the violence that has caused loss of lives and property and displaced thousands of the people in the region before.
Conflicts between the two communities has periodically occurred since the 17th century. However, the government has continued to put up measures to ensure peace and harmony between the communities in Tana River County.
So ningeomba machifu muwe na utu wa kuona usawa katika kila mtu. Nimemwambia ile chifu huko Sera, sijui location inaitwaje? Inaitwa Galma. Nimemwambia chifu wa Galma, hata kama yeye ni Wardei, anaweza kuwatumikia Wapokomo na wengine bila matatizo yoyote, kwa sababu watu wanaangalia uniform ya chief na wanaangalia kazi yake, ama sio?
Speaking while addressing the local elders from the Oromo, Pokomo, Wardei, Wailwana, Moyaya, Wata and other communities at Tasa and Tana Delta sub-counties, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata blamed the frequent conflicts on lack of respect between crop farmers and pastoralists, noting that the farmers at times attack the livestock grazing on their farms, while the latter deliberately let the animals to freely roam on the farms.
Na mtuambie kwa ukweli kwamba matatizo yetu ni fulani, tusichukue mtu, tusimfuate mtu ambaye hana hatia. Hivyo ndio vile tutaweza kutekeleza matatizo yetu hapa. Tusipofanya hivyo, kila siku itakuwa ni haya matatizo tu. Nimemwambia chifu wa Sera pia yeye atuambie ng'ombe ambao wamekuwa kiingia kwa mashamba ya watu ni ng'ombe za nani. Hata machifu hapa lazima mjue nani ana ng'ombe hapa na ng'ombe za nani zilikuwa zinalishwa mahali fulani.
This comes a few days ago after a man was allegedly killed by a pastoralist header in Galma village. The body of the slain middle-aged man was later discovered in his farm, where he was allegedly killed by herders who had invaded his land to graze their cattle and who later vanished after committing the act. Elders who spoke, among them Haji Omar, who is the chairman of the Oromo community, blamed politicians for incitement on land and political grounds.
Hii habari yetu ya kukosa kufanya kazi zetu vizuri, kusikiza watu maalumu ambao wanatugonganisha. Watu wanatugunganishwa kwa maslahi yao. Wakati huo kiongozi humuoni, wanasiasa humuoni, wala nani humuoni. Hawako katika mahali pa vita. Ni sisi wananchi maskini wa kawaida ndio tunaumia, tunaumizana.
On his part, Dahim Dhile, who is the elder of the Wata community, asked the local administrators to work closely with the Nyumba Kumi elders as a way of addressing and solving problems within the communities before they escalate into ethnicity clashes.
Usalama ikiharibika, kurudisha ni ngumu. Lakini kila chifu, wazee wako kutana nao, iwe mfugaji, iwe mkulima, uweke njia ambayo wakati kama huu hali ya ukame imezidi, waweke pamoja.
In 2012, skirmishes between farmers and livestock keepers in the Tana Delta claimed more than 100 people and displaced hundreds of families. The conflict ended after the March 4th general elections. Reporting for Maisha TV, I'm Amoga Shane.
The sports sector has received a financial boost after Cabinet Secretary for Treasury Ukur Yatani allocated 15 billion shillings to the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund, as well as 90 million for the refurbishment of regional stadia as it tabled the national budget before the Parliament.
For the recovery of these sectors, I have proposed an allocation of 15 billion for the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund. Shilling 1.7 billion for the Tourism Fund, shilling 643 million for the Tourism Promotion Fund, and shilling 90 million for refurbishment of the regional stadia.
That's all we had for Maisha Live at 1. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. Enjoy your day.
Kwani amefanya?
Hizi shop zote 3 ni zake. Na hii next door anachukua pia.
Na imagine tuko na haka kitu kamoja tu.
Na ni bodyguards zako na wana.
Nasikia wanamshughulikia everything. ATM zake, credit card zake 24/7.
Hadi usiku.
Kwani 24/7 inamaanisha?
That means wanamlipia hata bill zake pia.
KRA, NHIF, UEFA.
Nafanywa zote akiwa ametulia tu hivi.
Kitu kingine nasikia ni eti so secure.
Kwani kuna banki yake, si mtu kama hizi utakamtoa anaenda kwa bank.
Nasikia hiyo katu hivi. The whole day kwa tablet akifanywa kila kitu.
Na hao bodyguards wake ndio umpelekea do kwa majuu.
Unaona wale wawili waso au fanya bulk payments.
Nilisikia ni ati local accounts zake, foreign accounts zake anashughulikiwa.
Aki no wonder business yake imegrow hivyo Lazima kuna banki yake special.
Your banking team is at your fingertips. Go digital. Visit coopbank.co.ke and click on new internet banking.